Hey guys, what's up? It's Alexis here and welcome back to the channel. How are we? Hope all are doing good. And this video I think is going to be a reading vlog. I have been in my reading era recently, as you guys have kind of been seeing from the content I've been putting out, and I kind of got inspired by a lot of book-ish content creators or book talk creators on TikTok and YouTube, and I kind of wanted to do a reading vlog. I thought I'd do something a little different for the channel. So basically how this works, I'm going to be documenting me trying to read two books. Number one is You Reach Sam by Dustin Thau, and the second book is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This vlog basically starts from like 2 or 3 weeks ago to yesterday, so it's going to be a lot of editing. So I'm going to try my best to make this as concise and clear as possible so you guys don't get confused. And I don't get confused. But if you guys like reading content, give this video a big thumbs up. If you guys have read these books and you guys have either liked them or hated them, let me know in the comments how you rated them if you did read them or if they're going to be on your TBR. Subscribe to the channel, join the family. Content is always on the way, like I always say. Without further ado, let's jump right into the reading vlog / challenge type of vibe. Hey guys, so today is Monday, which means this is day 1 of the challenge. My challenge is to do this for Monday to Friday, so this is going to be very interesting. It is currently 10:45 in the morning. I woke up early, have my tea ready. I have green tea with honey in here. It's been my new tea obsession lately. So the book I'm going to tackle first is You Reach Sam by Dustin Thau. It is basically a tragic love story about this girl named Julie who lost her boyfriend Sam in an accident, and she's struggling to deal with grief of his passing. The story takes place a week after he passes, and she gets this phone call from Sam after finding his message in her yearbook because they're seniors in high school. And she tries to call him, and he actually picks up the phone, and they are talking to each other while he's dead, which is kind of cool. And it kind of helps her have a chance to say goodbye to him properly because she didn't really attend the funerals or anything for his passing. So I'm currently at page 82, which is the beginning of chapter 5. I'm very excited to continue this book. I know how many people loved his writing and his writing style. On the back is from NPR. It says, I knew full well that I was signing up for a tragic love story, and that's exactly what I got. So now I'm here to warn you, this book will absolutely make you cry. Make sure you got a box of tissues handy. I mean a full box. Both make you feel sad. I haven't felt sad yet. But I think this book is beautifully written. The imagery and the details are beautiful. Also, look at this cover. This cover is also so beautiful. I'm very excited to pick up this book and read it. Normally, I give my ratings after like between 7 to 10 chapters, but because the chapters are so long, I kind of have a pre-rating thought in my head, but I'm going to keep reading because maybe that will change by the end of the book. So I'm going to start reading now at 10:50, and I will update you guys in just a second. Hey guys, I'm in my AirPods right now, because that's how I read my books. I do it with the audio. So sorry I'm not like filmed much, but I did just take Riley, my dog, out for a walk while I was reading this chapter. And I had a weird epiphany, and I really want to talk about it because I went through the last like 5 minutes trying to figure out if I knew something, and I actually don't. So we're gonna get into it. I started at 93. And I'm currently on 111. So, like, not a lot of page progress. But the thing with this book, it doesn't matter. Like, for me, this book is not really focused on the pages. It's because it jumps back and forth between before Sam died and after Sam dies. That, like, it's mostly just understanding their relationship and what happened. I realized that I didn't really know why Sam died until the end of this chapter, which is chapter 6. I just came to the epiphany. So I kind of prejudged this book not knowing the core reason why Sam died. And I kind of feel bad that I gave it a pre-rating in my head. I think they foreshadowed a little bit, and I must have not I thought I annotated it, so I just went back to my book and tried to find it, and I did find a little bit of it, and I have a guess of what actually happened for him to die. I just now realized that I don't actually know what he died from. So this book is now giving me something to think about, which I'm actually appreciating. And also, I feel like this book has more substance than it actually is. I think I've just judged this book a little too soon. Sure. I'm just not ready to know what happened. I also don't want to say what it is, because if people want to read this book, I don't want to give spoilers for that purpose. I'm actually loving it more the more I read it. I feel like it's so relatable. It's so heartwarming, and the love between Sam and Julie is really genuine and authentic. No complaints. I just prejudged the characters and the plot a little too soon, because I normally, once again, I rate my books. I have a pre-rating between 7 and 10. Like, those are the chapter, like between chapter 7 to 10, I have a rating in my head initially. But I rated it 2 chapters early, not really getting to the core plot, because I thought I wasn't going to like it as much. I guess the beginning was a little slow for me, and I was just dealing with the slowness of the beginning. And now we're finally getting to the root of the issue, and now I'm on board. So scared, though. I'm scared. I'll probably have to film my next clip after I read what the actual death is, and like if it actually is what I guessed it to be. This could now be a 5-star read for me, but I'm gonna film it. I'm gonna read a little bit more, because I'm now getting invested here. Like, my interest is now here. So I just want to know what happens, and then we're gonna report back after I know what happened. I see my thoughts on the actual cause of death. Hey guys, we're back. So, fun fact, I did read the plot of the death scene, and I was right with my guess. And I said it when I was highlighting and annotating it. And I took my dog for a walk, as you guys saw in the last clip, a little brief walk session. And I listened to it on the walk. And the first time I listened to it, like straight through, I was shocked by the end of it. After I listened the first time, I was like, kept saying to myself, like, okay, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. And then I had to re-listen to it again on the way back just to make sure I heard it right. And so it did click. This is the only thing I'll comment on. The moment of the death is kind of a dream and a flashback at the same time. So it starts with her going in a dreamlike state, and then it goes into the plot line of the death, and then goes back to the present. So it's like kind of 2 thoughts at once. And the transition there just was not clear to me. I don't know why it was not clear, but it just wasn't listening to it. So I had to re-listen to it. So that's my only comment on the book so far in terms of transitions. Everything else has been clean. Like, crystal clean, no problems, no confusions. This is the only part I think that really like took me for a loop. But I don't hate it. It's so well written, and it made me so sad. If you don't have the audiobook for this book, listen to it, because I think listening to this scene helped me a lot more than having to read it on the page. If I read on the page, I think I would have felt more upset than listening to it. I think I just need to read this book. This is giving me what ACOTAR felt like in the beginning, where I'm like, I was just very confused, and like it didn't click with me. Like, I didn't have like a interest peak moment. But I think I read first book ACOTAR, I started liking it more as I kept reading it. I think I'm having the same experience with this book, where like I'm liking it the more I'm reading it, because everything is starting to like make sense. And I'm like very, 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 very excited to continue reading the book, and I'll update you. Hi guys, it is currently 12:42 in the morning, and I just finished You Read Sam. The ending really hit home, and I actually cried at the final page of the book for the epilogue, and I did not expect to cry at it, but I think it just really hit me as a reader. The beginning was just very slow for me. It did pick up as the book continued on. The book did pick up for me after chapter 5. I went through a lot of emotions with the book today, finding out like all the details, and I was predicted correctly, but I just think I understand the 5-star ratings of this book. This book, the characters are so relatable. The chemistry they all have together, the banter they all have together is really, really beautiful to watch. This really reminds me of high school, and for me, I graduated during COVID, so I didn't get my senior year, and it was kind of nice to relate to them during their senior year and what I would have experienced if I didn't have COVID. So it's kind of nice to still, like, as I'm 22, so it's nice to kind of still relate to this stuff and, like, appreciate high school more for what it was. Well, first off, I loved the book. I think it's a great recommendation. It's not a 5-star read for me, even though I cried. Another unpopular opinion. I cried. I didn't give it a 5-star read. I give this a 4.5 stars. It was almost a 5-star read for me. It's just, the beginning to me felt very long, but was needed. Very long, but needed. And also how the transition for the initial, like, death reveal of the book, of how Sam died, that just was not clear to me. But every other transition in this book was clean. So I don't know, it was just maybe, like, me reading it, or me listening to it, not, like, actually reading the page. Maybe could have caused that issue for me in experience-wise, because I was reading this just purely in my AirPods that are dead right now. I had to listen to the voicemail with no AirPods. So, different world out here. But those are dead, and that could have also affected my experience. 4.5 stars. I'm very glad one book is done for the month. Hey guys, so we're halfway through this video. I didn't realize how long this is going to be, so if you have not gotten a snack or grabbed a drink yet, you probably should. But if you guys made this far in the video, give it a big thumbs up, because it shows that you watch my videos from the beginning to the end. But I wanted to quickly do a little mini transition because I thought this was going to be 2 different vlogs and it becoming one big vlog. So yes, I did finish You Read Sam. And now we're jumping into The Cruel Prince, and I'm going to give you guys the backstory of how I went to Barnes & Noble's and bought the book and why I bought it at Barnes & Noble's. Let's jump right in. But the book that I picked up at the bookstore is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So I went to my local library recently, and I wanted to read. The Cruel Prince is actually on my 25 and 2025 this year. It's kind of like one of those extra books I throw in. And I was at the bookstore, and I was going to rent it from my local library. And I finally got on Libby with my local library to read audiobooks from there, as well as Audible. That's where I listen to my audiobooks with the physical. So The Cruel Prince, I actually borrowed the book. I was going to read the audiobook this month and add it towards my long list of books I want to read this month. But also, I'm in a romantasy era right now. So we're going to go in that vibe, I guess, because I'm still reading ACOTAR and Caraval, but the book I got from my library is very, very, very damaged. The cover is ripping. The back was like, you could just tell it aged, because this book, oh, did I dent this already by buying this? Oh, great. Look at the corner of my book. It just up here is all dented. I'm trying to be careful with this one, but I had the book for like at least a week now, because it's a weekish, because I went to the library 2 weeks ago. A little over a weekish, and the back, I put it on my table, and because of the dent in my table, like I have like a little circle indent, the cover just snapped off, and I try to repair it before I can return it. So I was very, very scared to read it now because it's just damaged, and I was just like wasn't inclined. So I was gonna go to the bookstore to try to pick up my own copy so I can read it, and now I'm thinking I might want to annotate it with all my other romantic books, because if I want to, I'm trying to keep with series whether I'm going to annotate or not annotate. This one I might annotate just to see. It's very, very popular. Holly Black is a very popular author, and I just want to try something different. I've mostly been reading The Cruel Prince this month, but I'm using Libby for this book for the audiobook, and I'm so glad that I found it. I feel like I was so late to getting Libby. My library luckily had the audios, that's why I've been reading it. But I've mostly been reading this book. I went to Barnes & Noble 2 weeks ago. I bought this book with K-pop stuff that probably maybe in the first week of the vlog, you guys probably have seen. I bought this book to replace the one I borrowed from the library. That's why it's not annotated. I wanted to replicate the one I would have borrowed from the library at this point. I'm now 51% of the way through this. I am currently starting on chapter 18 on 194. And I want to talk about my raw thoughts because I'm about to get in the end of the first part. This book is technically in 2 parts, but they call it book 1 and book 2. And I didn't really put that together when I was initially reading it. until now because we're at the end of book 1. And I just want to say, I first off get crumbs on my books for no reason, which is great. And on some of the recent pages of my book, I have now markings. So you know this book is mine. But I really am enjoying this so much more than I thought I was going to. And I am loving the writing. Holly Black is a really great writer. It's very simple to follow. You think parts are going to be, like, you think repetitive parts, like repetitive moments would be boring, but there's enough, like, oomph to it so it keeps you engaged. I'm trying not to give spoilers to people who have not read this yet. It's based about this girl named Jude and her twin sister Taryn and her older sister Viv live in the human world, and Viv's dad, like biological dad, is a fairy, and Viv was living with Jude and Taryn with the birth mom. The birth mom escaped from the fairy world into the human world. His dad kills both the parents of Jude and Tavern because Jude and Tavern, they're like step siblings, and the three of them go to fairy to live in the high court because the dad has to raise Viv. And then there's that's how she gets to the fairy world. And 10 years later, she is 17. The book starts when she was 7. She wants to be part of the high court so she can not feel like she's mortal. And that comes with a series of problems because she has to win over the hearts of the court to get placed, either as a knight, a spy, or married. It's kind of her 3 options. And I really, really, really like it so far. I'm scared to continue reading it because like this next section is scaring me after what I just read. So that's why it inspired me to record this. But I'm giving this a 4.5 stars. I'm invested, but I'm not. This doesn't feel like a 5-star read to me personally. So that's why I'm giving it a 4.5. There's nothing wrong with it for it not to be a 5-star. Like, it should be a 5-star to me. But I don't want to give it a 5-star without fully reading it. So I'm really, really enjoying this. I'll definitely continue with the trilogy. I hope my synopsis of this was good. We'll see. But hey guys, so this is the next day. I did finish The Cruel Prince last night. See you on our fine glory. I only had about like 50-ish pages left to finish this last night, so I'm really glad I got it done. I really, really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4.5 stars. It surprised me how much I loved it. I love the simplicity of the plot line. It wasn't complicated to follow. The romance subplot that's in this book is actually a really nice addition. It didn't take away from the main plot, but it was just nice to add. I really enjoyed it. I really connected with all the characters, and I'm very excited to continue with the series. I thought this was considered romantasy because when I initially did research, this fell under the romantasy category. But then I did research again last night to edit and also update my book journal and stuff. And really, this is technically a YA fantasy. So I'm going to call this a YA fantasy, which I 100% agree. But it has a romance subplot. So it's there. It's a slow burn. It's there. It made me learn that I don't hate slow burn romances. I've never read like an actual slow burn romance book, but how it was done in The Cruel Prince I think was really well done. I'm very excited to continue. The ending really shocked me with how it all kind of wrapped up. I think it did, but it did wrap up really well. So I'm very excited to continue reading this series, and I'm excited to read more Holly Black work. I really like her writing, and I definitely recommend this. If you're someone who's trying to get into fantasy and want something that's not like too complicated or has a lot of complexity into it, like don't start with The Court of Thorn and Roses. Start with something like The Cruel Prince. I think it'd be really nice to transition into the genre and get a feel for it. So I'm very happy to finish this book. You guys have seen me complete 2 books in this vlog, which is You've Reached Sam and The Cruel Prince. So as you can see, my reading track record is not that great. Something we are working and improving. But yeah, that is the end of this reading vlog. If you guys like this type of content, give this a big thumbs up. weekly vlog, reading vlog, kind of mixed in together. Let me know if you guys want more bookish type content from me. Let me know. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not. But if you guys want my opinions on stuff, let me know. And yeah, like the video, subscribe, join the channel, join the family. We're super fun over here and content on the way, like I always say. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.